Hi class, welcome to nutrition. I am so excited to have you. I think this is going to be a very fun course. So this is basically a course tour just to orient you to the class. Every class online looks a little bit different. Obviously announcements, syllabus, you know that stuff. Let's get straight to the goods. So my class is organized in modules, and they're modules by chapter. So there's a couple things I do here to help you be most effective. First of all, here are my drop-in hours. Here's how to communicate with me. This is actually really important. A few things about communication. Do not email me through Canvas. I cannot respond very well. It blocks a lot of my content, and it really increases the time load for me to help you and get your answers to you. So email me directly. When you email me, keep in mind I have tons of classes, different sections, different courses. So give me as much information as possible so we don't have to do a back and forth, again, to answer your questions more efficiently and more quickly. So tell me the course you're in. The course you're in this particular video is right here. This number will be different for every class. What the question is about. Make sure you've read through the whole assignment and you're asking me direct questions. That's helpful because remember, I've written all your assignments, so I already think I communicated well. So if there's a gap that I need to cross, I need to know where the gap is. And then any images, anything like that that you can show me is really helpful. So for example, if you say, I don't understand this in this Connect assignment, well, what number don't you understand? Which Connect assignment don't you understand? And so on. Okay. Also, so on top of this module, your Getting Started module, I have a course resource module. This is everything that's applicable to your class, and most of your questions can be answered here. Everything about grading and assignment policies, your course schedule. So one of the things I've noticed with the transition to Canvas is students are having a hard time with due dates, and I'm not sure why. So I have taken many steps to help you manage your due dates. There's a few things here. Right here is a course calendar. This course calendar, make sure you've selected all your classes, should show you all the due dates that are up and coming. In addition, you have a course schedule here. And so every week you can print this. I will not change this unless I send out a big message about it. But here you will see everything that's due. Now this particular video is representative of a summer course, so a 16-week course is going to look different. But what you'll know is you will have a course schedule that I will follow. So if you see any inconsistencies or anything that doesn't look right, by all means, please email me. But know that you have a course schedule. You also have a calendar. I highly recommend you never use grades and what's due. You're missing half the content, and I have known this to be inaccurate. So if you use this and you come to me and you're like, but I didn't see that, I'm going to say, well, I told you, you have a course schedule and you have a calendar. In addition, there's a couple things here. This is an assignment that I've given you. This really is about the introduction of AI. We use a lot of AI in this course. I'm a big advocate of using AI like a research assistant. I love it. I think it's great. But this highlights issues that students have had with authenticity and knowing how to use augmented sources, ultimately. So here is my way for you to make sure that you protect yourself and you protect your own work. And so I strongly suggest as an assignment to give you some bonus points, download a Microsoft 365. It's free for you. And then take a look at this whole module. Okay, so how your modules are set up. They're set up in chapters as outlined in your schedule. So you will always have, actually, let me go to a better module for us because chapter 1 is always a little tricky in an 8-week course. So let's go to here. So you'll see we have chapter 2, and so you will always have an overview of that chapter, what you should expect your learning outcomes. Those are very useful for studying for exams. you will always have your learning materials. And so here's just a regular PowerPoint. It's not narrated because that's so boring. But here are different videos that and toolkits that I have found for you that help bring that information to life. And then here are your assignments. And so this will always be looking at your SmartBook, your Connect activity, any work on multi-week projects, or work that's just due that week that doesn't fall into Connect. So here you can see this. And so you want to make sure that you are looking. This is the other way you know what's due. But you'll notice that there's no due dates here posted. But if I were to click on this link, which is why also going through Gradebook is not always the best, you can see all the information related to this assignment. I have a YouTube video, I have a slide for you, I have understanding what you're looking for. This sets you up for all the research you'll do in this class this semester, and then you have the assignment. So for example, if you went through Gradebook, you wouldn't get any of this background information, which is really what I've designed to help you do that assignment. Okay, the other thing you'll notice here is you have McGraw-Hill integration. So we do use Connect in this course. I've sent you an announcement telling you how to sign up. It comes with the class. There's no registration code. There's an automatic server sign-on, but we will also use a calorie count called NutriCalc in this class. And so you can access that right here through your McGraw-Hill integration. Okay, that is everything that you need for right now to course tour you. Please let me know. Reach out if you have questions, and I'm looking forward to the semester.